the things they tell us in bridal showers and
bridal showers.
Now they are going to get married when your husband is coming back. You run, you go get the camera, carry this.
Like people are saying, when the husband comes with a camera, you run and pick the camera. No, for me, did mine come with a camera the first week? The first day, no camera. The second day, no camera. I'm like, I thought men, like I had to answer. I thought men come with cameras. Where is yours?
Another woman that can take your spotlight. If I wrote you a symphony, just to say how much you mean to me, what would you do if I told you you were beautiful?
Hello, welcome to Wise Rising. Marriage is not a straight line, but every day we strive to make it straight. I'm Beatrice Chimpi.
I am Barbara Emiro.
Sandra Lvanga.
Karin Mide.
And we are
Wise Rising.
This is our very first official video, in spite of the fact that we've had some intro videos that you've been watching. This is season 1 of Wise Rising, and we are very excited to serve you. We are really excited. Me and all this team you see here, we are glad that we are here, that we are going to be serving you through our own experiences. If you are inspiring or an aspiring person to become married, are you a young girl, are you already married, are you falling out with your with your marriage, this is the space for you. Please subscribe, comment, share this video, share this platform to as many ladies as possible, as many married groups as possible, because much is yet to come on this platform.
Disclaimer, we are not perfect. But we're here to share our experiences so that you can learn from it. Never know. But bring to you something that might change your life forever.
That is so true. It's not that we are the best of the wives, we are the best of the women. But no, we are right now we've brought ourselves out to help one another, because even us, as you see, we are also having areas in our lives, in our marriages, that we are still struggling with. But we believe that through this community, we are going to be able to grow together, build stronger families, build stronger marriages to the glory of God.
Amen.
This is season 1, episode 1. And so this episode is called Navigating Childhood. Each one of us has a story of their own where we are going to be, sharing. When we reached marriage, there are some things that we looked back on and we're like, I think my childhood had something to do with how I turned out to be. We are mothers, all of us are mothers. You could be a mother right there, or a father listening unto us. Some of these things we are going to share, we are sharpening each other to know that our children, our girls, our boys are not going to turn out by default to be the kind of people that we want them to be, but there is some sort of energy that we have to put in. All right? So we're going to start with Barbara. Barbara, how was your childhood? How did it, how did you navigate it? How did it shape you into the kind of woman that you are today?
Barbara Emiro is a young girl. I didn't really spend a lot of time with my parents, because my parents passed away when I was, I think, like 3. One of my parents passed away when I was 3. Then my mom passed away when I was 3. Then my dad passed away when I was 4.
Oh, sorry.
I was young, so I didn't really grow up in a family. Okay, yes, they were together, but they were cohabiting. So it's not like they taught me a lot about marriage or what. So when they passed away, I stayed with my grandmother. My uncles stay around, an extended family, just no. And also, my mother's sisters were just there with us, because actually my family, I think they died when they were young, so also my cousins were there, so we were not like in a straight family, I can say. And there was no sign of marriage somewhere. So the only figure that we had was our grandmother. And also our grandmother, she was alone. She was a single grandmother. So marriage, like growing up, it's not something I was taught from the family. But there was a church right behind us. So my grandmother used to send us to church every day. So being at church, I joined church. So I grew up actually seeing people getting married in church, but not in family. So I should say that maybe that's where I learned that actually people get married, but not from family.
Okay. So now that you're married, are there things that you stumble upon and you feel like if it wasn't for my childhood here in my marriage, this would be a struggle?
Well, for me, I think I didn't want to be in a family where there's no mom and a dad. I didn't want to see my kids growing up without a mom or a dad. You understand? Because I want my kids to feel the presence of mom and dad. Because I didn't have this, I wished it for my children. So I think this is why I was looking forward to getting married and then giving my kids a step of family. Yeah, I think
that is it.
I think that's it.
Well, that is the story of Barbara, and I think we have something I've learned or something I've picked is it doesn't matter which sort of background you have.
Yes.
Yeah. It could be that your background is tainted, is broken, but then, as she has said, one thing you pointed out was you saw the image of marriage in church.
Yes.
And so that influenced your desire or your desire to get married.
Yeah.
Yeah. But inside marriage, when we get married as women, there are so many things that are expected of us. Are there things in your childhood that you feel like this, I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't brought up maybe by my grandmother? Or you learned on the job?
Honestly, I think I'm learning on job. I don't even with maybe the advice that you get from people, from peers.
Yeah.
But family really, there's nothing much I can say about family because it's not there. You understand? Like there's no I think I can say that I learned this from my mom, or maybe I learned preparing food from my dad. Like maybe no. I learned on job. I'm learning on job.
And I'm glad. So anyone who is out there and you feel like, for me, I don't have anyone influencing me towards this, you have a desire to get married, but you don't know. It doesn't matter whether you're growing up in a broken home, you're a young girl, you're in a home where things that you're an extended family, you will make it in life. So it doesn't matter your background.
Yes.
What matters, God is holding your future and He has your future.
Didn't really have a marriage couple around me, or even in the neighborhood. By the way, it was not there. Anyway, marriage. God is good.
Amen. Barbara, mine is a different story, totally different. Me, I come from a very humble background, but with my two parents around me, I usually testify that I'm this child who was really, really loved. So I grew up seeing my mom, my dad, even eating posho, they would be like, Karen, eat some posho, you know. So my story is totally different. So me, what influenced me so much is the fact that I grew up with my two parents. My dad passed on last year when we are all old. So I grew up seeing them. It was a married couple, a Christian home. And my mom used to pray for us. So mine, it is totally different, and that influenced me. And by the grace of God, I got married at a very young age also. Yeah, that is that.
That's great. Sandra, as a young child when I was growing up, I grew up with both parents. My parents are still alive, my mom and my dad. But in my childhood, what I didn't like most, my parents were different religions. They came from different backgrounds. My mom came from a very humble background. My dad came from a very rich background. And on top of that, they had different faith. So with that, I didn't pick much from them as a couple. But the other couples I looked into, like my paternal uncles, I used to enjoy their marriages. I used to enjoy how they love each other. I remember when we used to go to church, I would love the couples that came with their own children. But we used to go to church with only my dad, and my mom could stay home. So that didn't treat me well, me as a child. I didn't like it. But I enjoyed most parents that could go with their children at church. Like when you finish Sunday school, they go see their dad, they go see their mom. They have people surrounding them. So when I was growing up, I was like, oh God, align me with someone of the same faith. Yeah, and God did it. I have so many couples that I looked at. We had so many neighbors that got connected with their partners of the same faith. So I was like, also me, I'll do that. And I pray even for my children not to go into that line. I remember one thing, my grandfather, may he so rest in peace, my maternal grandfather. So whenever I could go check on him, he could always say, your dad took my child. I want you to come in this religion. I'm going to pray for you. And you have to come in this religion. And every time I'm like, fire. Because really, I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it. You know, different backgrounds, different faith, fights can be in between there. Yeah. And as children, we don't love those fights. Yeah. So I didn't like that. So I was motivated by my other family members and the family friends that we had around.
Wow. At least for you had family that could come. Yes. You could say family members who were married.
Around.
Yes, I had so many couples around.
Hey, Beatrice, tell the people, how was your childhood?
My childhood, even up to now, it's one of the things that hold my marriage together, despite the hard doors. Because I grew up from great grandparent was wedded at Namrembe Cathedral. Grandparent, paternal. Great. No, I saw those photos. I saw grandparent wedded at Cathedral, Namrembe Cathedral. Then I grew up with both of my parents together, and so my family was surrounded with an image of marriage. In that this childhood experience influenced even the way I was choosing people I was dating. Because my first question when you came to me would be, do you in your clan or in your family, do you marry people? Is
there marriage?
That would be a turn off, and I would just leave, because I knew at my home there's no way you get out without that. So so I believed so much in marriage. And so one of the role models I had a lot of role models, but the ones that stood out most, I would start with my father. Before he died, he showed me faith, he showed me God. And this, like the Bible says, that train a child in the ways that they should go. When they grow up, they will not depart. He died when I was like 7, but his influence on my life was so huge, even at campus, even even up to now, that you want to grow your children with the same words that your father used to tell you. And then comes my mom. Was there also, so I saw my mom serve my dad. I saw my dad being treated special in the home. So in my home you'll find that he has a different cup, mommy has a different. So it comes from childhood.
Even us, that's how I grew
So my dad dies, and my mom, you know, in Buganda, like there's even in culture, in tradition, there's a saying that it takes a village to train up a child. Yes. So in our culture in Baganda, it was common then. Now it's not common, but it was common then that Sandra would take their children to their aunties, to their everybody to learn. The essence was not to just go and sleep and visit, but the essence was that they would instill some values in you. So this one person was my grandmother. And my grandmother, that is where I really saw what marriage was. I saw what respecting a man is. I saw how, I saw everything that people talk about. So that childhood of mine influenced me. Even when I used to do things when I'm annoyed, like they tell you, wash the saucepan, repeat it. Don't use tea wire, use ash. Like I learned a lot of things that I've actually practiced in my own home. Even with my children, that they will tell me, Mommy, there is no this. I'll tell them, use this, because this is what I grew up here.
You are trained.
Cooking, I didn't cook much with my mom, but I cooked with my grandma.
Wow.
So that childhood of mine, that experience shaped the kind of
separating person. The cup for the husband, the tray.
I actually found it there at my grandmother's place. Even I would say wasa.
Even separating. Some of us just add sauce and food or the same plate.
We do but they have their different plates. Yes, because when we go for dinners, we would do the food.
Yeah.
But it depends. But the thing of this is daddy's cup.
Yeah.
That's his trays.
Yes, this is his
jug. Oh,
yeah.
We learned.
So for my grandmother, it went as far as this is his food. This is his food. His food was extreme. The saucepan was extremely big.
But
yet those saucepans, the boxes, so they will be different. The meat is prepared, but there is meat for everyone else. Then there is meat for daddy. So that influenced how I turned out. I won't say that I'm the best one, but I'm trying. So then comes just the same thing that unites all of us. Then comes church, where you see, it was the norm. So that's how my childhood was.
Wow. But me about that, by the way, I don't remember seeing this food is okay. Of course, we knew that this plate is for Jaja, but then Jaja Msaja was. It was that figure weird was not there at all. So anyway,
also I didn't have
that is when Grace comes in.
I didn't have the grandmother figure in my life. Like I told you, because of the different faith that my parents were in. So we grew up not even going to my mom's side. I started going to my mom's side when I was in S3, and we just went for 3 weeks. And unfortunately, my grandmother on maternal side, he passed away when I was still very young. So I don't have any training from a grandmother, great grandfather. Yeah, so I missed that part.
No, you're not alone.
I missed that part.
You're not alone. Me, I grew up with my two parents. Ever since I how you come and realize that you're in a home. I grew up with only two people. I don't
Your
have
mom and dad,
grandmother. I did not visit. I don't remember visiting I visited my Jaja, my mommy's dad, when I was in senior. I don't remember actually. Me, I grew up with two parents. We didn't even go for holidays. We were home. We used to admire sometimes to go to my uncle's place, but we did not.
What are some of the things that are so significant that you realize that when you reached marriage you struggled, and maybe you wouldn't want them to repeat in your children's lives, in our viewers' lives, or the children as they grow up? So I'll start with Karine. What really went wrong? That you
like our slogan, life or marriage is not
a straight line,
but
we try to make it straight.
Yeah, one of the things, yes, I grew up when I'm a lovely girl, but it spoiled me somehow, somewhere, that somehow I am a bit lazy. I remember when we came from our honeymoon, people came from our house to come to pick me, Kasuze Katia, my in-laws. So they left the place dirty, friends. When we came back after 2 weeks, friends, I found the place dirty. I cried. I should tell to my friends, now why were you crying? Because it was so new to me. Like, you find you're going to clean the sitting room, you're going to clean the kitchen, you're going to clean the bedroom, and everything was a mess. I cried because my background, I had not used to housework. Because my mom used to love me, guys. Like, she did not instruct me a lot to do housework. So it's one of the things that, yes, I love my Maya, I love my girls, but I train them to do work. Because me, the reason why I cried is because it was too much. It was too much, friends. I cried and my husband was like, people are crying. I couldn't imagine it is me to wash the dishes, it is me to clean, then I cook food. Hey!
And then after eating,
after you wash, I cried, friends. I cried. So one of the things that I try hard so much is to train my girls and my boys to do housework.
Mr. Zemiru,
yes.
How was it? The struggle continues.
Learning on job.
Actually,
honestly, I am learning on job.
Yes.
Because, well, maybe I should say having a male person, like what kind of respect am I going to give this man? How do they treat a man in a family? Generally, now for me, I'm learning from advice that I'm hearing from maybe friends,
From
or
the
maybe
bridal
from a
showers.
bridal shower, or maybe from Kogama picking up information from people. So I'm just using whatever I had to apply. So whatever works for me, I'm like, thank God this one has worked. So process by process.
I know.
Which is okay.
Sandra, any struggles?
The struggle, on my side, not really. Being a firstborn, okay, we grew out with maid throughout, but being a firstborn in my family, I used to work like any other firstborn. And I had this desire of having a honeymoon. What I remember, okay, it also dawned on me, I have everything to do. But I didn't know where to start from. Actually, I didn't know where to start from. I remember I made breakfast at 11 a.m. because I was like, now where do I really start from? You know, when you grow up from home, you know my housework is mopping the house and you're done the whole day. That is my assignment. But then you're like, where do I start from? Where do I start from? Where do I start? So, okay, I tried to do it, but maybe another struggle that I really found, I am an introvert person. I'm an introvert person, and my characters are totally very different from my sisters. For those that know my sisters and my other siblings, we're totally different. So even when I came into marriage, I came into with that character as well. So sometimes they say introverts are people pleasers. So there is that time when I felt like maybe it is breaking me. You try to impress your husband with so many things, doing what, blah. But I remember one day when even him was coming from work, but that was day 2, day 3, and the things they tell us in bridal showers and
Bridal showers.
that they are going to get married. When your husband is coming back, you run, you get the kavera, carry this. So I went to welcome him back. And they were like, oh, honey, please, 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 don't do what you're not going to do forever. I've been coming back from work. I know where I can put these things, and then you can arrange.
Let me just give you a simple story. I'm sorry to cut you off. This bridal shower is not for people, like people are saying, when a husband comes with a kavera, you run and take the kavera. No, for me, did mine come with a kavera the first week? The first day, no kavera. The second day, no kavera. I'm like, I thought men, like I had to, I was like, hey, I thought men come with kaveras. Where is yours? You know? Because that's interesting. I don't understand it. Where is the kavera that men come with? That's interesting. Yeah.
Picking up information. Oh,
yes, just
you're
picking
so
up
precious.
So I'm going to give you my struggle. Yes. Much as my family, people are getting married, but women were, my aunties will forgive me, but this is the truth. I want to put it in a most polite way in English, but they were strong-hearted, independent women. If we get married and we don't go along, I'll go back to my grandfather. So that image almost took my marriage, my first 7 years of marriage. I'm telling you.
Like, me, I can be there by myself. Like, man, I stood when my parents were not there. Even when my grandmother, you know, I can do it. Like, if you are knowing me, I can be there on my own. I can't fail to go out to get something to do, and I be on my own.
I tell you, once, twice, you're not doing something, I'll do it myself.